Right now on Up with KREM, while we await a rush of cooler temperatures, the wind gusts are forecast to increase tonight and tomorrow. I have the latest on areas impacted by heightened fire danger.
Without this levy passing, there will be reductions.
Plus, Spokane voters will decide on 2 sales tax proposals on the upcoming November ballot. This morning, council members weigh in on the chances both have of passing.
And a new poll is breaking down how voters feel about repealing the state's Climate Commitment Act. We've got live reports throughout the morning.
Up with KREM begins now.
6 o'clock here on your Wednesday morning. Good morning, friends. Welcome to Up with KREM. I'm Tim Pham. We are halfway through the work week. And meteorologist Thomas Patrick, this is your Friday.
Yeah.
So happy Friday to you. But a lot of folks really glad that this morning feels very refreshing compared to some of the mornings we've had over really the last, how many days? 19 days?
Gosh, yeah. As of yesterday, it was 19 days in a row of 90-degree heat, Tim, because we did hit 90 exactly yesterday. It looks like today is going to be near 95, a little tick up temperature-wise. So we'll go 20 days in a row of 90-degree heat, and then we'll get our first 80-degree days in almost 3 weeks. But this morning feels pretty refreshing. Don't let your guard down, though, because we will go from some 40s and 50s back into the 90s by this afternoon, but it's at least nice to get a couple hours of some cooler temperatures to work with. Look at your day planner for today. I think most of us will be back into the 60s by next hour, but the afternoon today, about 90 to 95 degrees. So this will be our warmest remaining day of the week. We'll get a nice cold front tonight that will start to increase the winds this evening and into tomorrow.
And as you wake up this morning, we want to give you a live look outside at I-90 in Jefferson in downtown Spokane. You can see right now no major incidents on I-90 in downtown Spokane, which is always good news. Traffic will start to pick up, though. If anything pops up, we'll be sure to let you know here on Up with KREM. At 6:02, we're taking a live look at the White House in Washington, D.C. this morning, where tonight President Biden is expected to make his 4th Oval Office address of his term. Biden is expected to speak on his decision to drop out of the November presidential race and endorse his Vice President Kamala Harris. On social media, he posted that he plans to discuss, quote, what lies ahead and how I will finish the job for the American people, end quote. He is scheduled to start the speech at 5 p.m. our time. You can watch his address to the nation here on KREM 2. It comes one day after Vice President Kamala Harris held her first rally as the presumptive Democratic nominee in the key swing state of Wisconsin. Harris's momentum is fueled by an influx of cash and major endorsements, including the top Democrats in Congress, like House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries. Meantime, the Trump campaign has filed a complaint with the Federal Election Commission, claiming that the transfer of more than $91 million from the Biden to the Harris campaign is a campaign finance violation. Today, Trump is expected to talk about Harris at his campaign rally in North Carolina. Well, with the general election just a few months away, a new poll shows nearly 20% of Washington voters are undecided about repealing the state's Climate Commitment Act. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones is live in Spokane for us this morning. So, Brandon, what do we know about this initiative and what are voters saying? Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Tim. Well, for starters, the Climate Commitment Act created a cap and invest program, capping emissions and requiring polluters to purchase allowances. So ultimately what that means is the money from those allowances or polluters is going back into the state in terms of environmental and climate type of projects. This recent poll conducted by our sister station King, the Seattle Times, and the University of Washington Center for an Informed Public shows 18% of voters are still undecided about repealing the act. I-2117 was organized by a group called Let's Go Washington, who's leading the charge on repealing. The sponsor says the cost of allowances were passed on to drivers at the pump and disputes the way the funds are being spent. Supporters for the Climate Commitment Act dispute the repeal and say this movement to appeal is really just about gas prices and that I-2117 wouldn't guarantee that those prices go down. As for that poll, 48% of respondents said they expect to vote yes on initiative I-2117. 34% said they expect to vote no. So both supporters and opponents of the initiative believe that 18% of undecided voters could play a major impact come election day in November. But for now, reporting live in Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Also this November, Spokane County voters will see two very similar options on the ballot. The city and county are both asking for sales taxes, both for 0.1%. But the city would use the tax money for the community safety, while the county hopes to fund the juvenile detention center and county jails. At KREM 2, we bring you more to every story. Shannon Mowdy spoke with elected leaders about the tax measures and if voters are likely to support both of them.
Yeah, we wanted to know if these two taxes would prove too much for voters already dealing with inflation and after last year's failure of a measure to build a new jail. It was top of mind last week.
It's a little bit challenging for me to support this effort at this time because I know that there are a lot of people out there that are hurting financially.
When Spokane County's commissioners approved adding a sales tax renewal to November's ballot, it was a hard ask for some. A hard ask for the city of Spokane, too.
Prepare to vote.
Because it's also asking voters to approve a 0.1% sales tax on the same ballot.
There should have been better coordination with the county. And in fairness, the county should have coordinated with us better last year when they were running their jail measure. Not a lot of collaboration there right now, unfortunately. But it could be something that drags both of them down.
Councilmember Jonathan Bingle believes the city's new tax will fail, in part because he says it's not clear enough what the money will be used for. The ballot will read, funding enhanced community safety and other public safety operations.
But what's been described to us as a major part of community safety, according to this council and this administration, is solar panels and bike lanes. And I just don't think that that's what, the people have in mind when they think community safety.
Councilmember Zach Zappone wouldn't gaze into the crystal ball of how the vote could go, but he says this is a better option than a more expensive property tax council voted down in May.
So if you spend $50,000 in a year on taxable goods, so not groceries or medications or other items, but $50,000, you'd be paying $50 in taxes.
He says voters have been vocal about wanting more public safety.
Without this levy passing, there will be reductions. So to do any reductions in the city, we would have to be making reductions in services for police and fire.
The county's tax would continue funding juvenile detention and jails. Last year, a measure to build a new jail using a 2/10 sales tax failed. Bingle estimates if the county revisits that ask next year and the city's tax is approved, it could take away some ability to fund a new jail.
If I'm the valley, why am I agreeing to 2/10 to give 60% of my 2/10 to the county, but the city of Spokane is giving 60% of 1/10 and then 15% of another 10th? I think it hurts our efforts with the jail region-wide.
Ultimately, voters will decide what they're willing to pay come November 5th. A spokesperson for Mayor Lisa Brown's office said they do plan to sit down with county leadership to discuss their shared community safety goals, but they declined to comment until that conversation happens. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Happening now, an urgent search to find a man suspected of robbing a Spokane convenience store at gunpoint. This happened yesterday afternoon near North Central High School. The suspect ran when police arrived and managed to get away. These pictures are from security cameras at the store. Police say the suspect is a man wearing a black sweatshirt and blue jeans. They also say that they believe he may have robbed another convenience store last Thursday. If you recognize him or have any information, you're asked to call 911.
As we take you back outside on this pleasant morning, though our forecast focus is going to be on the winds for tonight and then tomorrow. And because of the stronger winds, we do have elevated fire danger. So red flag warnings are in effect today for the Okanagan Valley, so the Omak area and towards Grand Coulee, whereas tomorrow we have the fire weather watches. Those will be the red flag warnings for Thursday for the Spokane and Pullman areas. So kind of a 1-2 punch. So different area, different time frame between these two alerts. And that's because that is how long it will take the wind to pass through our region. But today, still on the hot side with our temperatures in the low to mid 90s.
It's time for your wake-up call. Today is National Drive-Thru Day. So this morning we thought it'd be fun to ask you, what is your go-to fast food restaurant? Someone writing in and telling us that it's Carl's Jr. Someone else said Houston Hot Chicken. I like that place, but it is spicy. I've been thinking about this one. I think if I'm going, like big chain, I really do like Chick-fil-A. But also locally, Delish is probably my favorite, kind of like a greasy burger here in town. But let us know, what is your favorite fast food go-to restaurant? You drive the conversation on this show. We'd love to hear from you. Maybe you'll hear a new recommendation of something you should try out. Text us at 509-448-2000 or use the hashtag #UpWithKREM on social media.
Offer something, offer a snack, a meal, something. But we had nothing.
Delta Airlines still having troubles after the CrowdStrike outage that impacted billions around the world on Friday. Why Washington Senator Maria Canwell is speaking out about Delta's continued cancellations.